Yo, what's up guys? In today's video, I'm going to be showing you guys how to make the top 5 most simple traps for beginners in Hoplite Battle Royale. Let's get right into it. Alright guys, so the first trap I'm going to be showing you guys is the head hitter. The head hitter can be 2 blocks or 1 block, which would be like that, you know, like all of that filled into. It can be 3 blocks too, but you know, it's usually just 2 or 1. And so how it works is there's a hole right here, which is the trap. That's where they fall in and die. That's like the dripstone here. And what happens is you're like baiting the trap, right? You know, you're running from them, you jump at the perfect time, and you don't fall in. However, they're not going to jump at the perfect time. They're going to be, you know, just running, and then they fall in the trap. If you don't jump, then you just fall in. So you got to jump right here. Before using this trap, I would say I recommend, like, you know, making a practice world and basically just going through this trap over and over again to make sure that you know how to like jump at the right time. It's not that hard, but like you gotta learn it. So yeah, that's the first trap. And to show you guys, you can do it like this. Obviously this would be filled in better, but you know, here you can do that, and then you can still follow it. So yeah, that's the head hitter. That's number 1. And then the next trap I'm going to be showing you guys is the second trap, which is going to be the north ladder. The north ladder is a trap designed by, I don't really know how to say his name, but it kind of sounds like north ladder. And you go over here, right? This is the trap. They think that these are your ladders. What you can do is actually put a ladder right here to make it, you know, look like it's ladders. It is like possible for them to get stuck on it, as North Ladder mentioned in his video, but yeah. And so how this trap works is they think these are ladders. You go over here and you land on the water, so you don't take fall damage. You don't have to put water here, it's kind of optional. You can't have no water, you just take fall damage, and in Hoplite it's kind of important that you take no fall damage. There's a lot of bats in here, so let me just get rid of these guys. Okay. Why are there so many? This is annoying. But so they come over here, and usually, sometimes they will actually just run and jump into here, right, and then fall in the trap. Make sure that when you're baiting this, you go down, right, and you place a block above your head, because what that does is prevents them from basically getting in here, right? They can't make it in, no matter how hard they try. They see this hole in the wall, they can't get in, unless it's 3 blocks tall, and that's what you want to do. You want to have it 3 blocks tall when you're baiting, and you jump in, and then you're in here, and get out of here. Oh my god, they're just spawning so much. But so once they're peeking over here, right, sometimes they'll fall in again, you know, and they'll just fall into the trap. But once they're peeking right there, which is usually what they'll do, they'll just sit there and like look down for a second. That's when you want to flick this lever once and flick it again. Now what that's gonna do is they're gonna be up here, you're gonna flick the lever, they fall down, and then you flick the lever again and the pistons push them into the trap. And even if, like, you know, they're right here and they try to go in here, it's not gonna work. See? And what this is a funnel. A funnel basically makes it so it goes into one spot. Like, so you can make 2 blocks, only 1 block when you fall down. These are very, very useful. I'll include them in another video, but what they are is essentially, you know, just 2 pieces of redstone, piston, and then a pressure plate. Now you fall in, and then right there you get pushed in. That's what a funnel is. And let me just get rid of these bats. Here are ladders. Usually I make them a bit like further out, you know, like 2 blocks more this way, but you know, I didn't make this big enough, so I didn't do that. And then also what you want to do is, usually I just do it like there's 1 block here. You want to put another ladder to go up. It's about 4 blocks like that. Then you go over here. Oh, okay. I did not go high enough up. I should have had that down. It's like muscle memory, but it's not 4 blocks. Note to self, okay? 6 blocks, and then you go over here, right? And you go through here, and you just put stone to there, and you know, that's it. When they fall in, they die. And yeah, that's pretty much the north ladder trap. Alright, and here we have the block off trap. Block off trap works on both Java and Bedrock on pretty much any server, but what this is basically, hold on, I need blocks. Let's get some cobblestone. So you bait this, right? You go over here, you see this tree. It can be in a tree, it can be in terrain, it doesn't really matter. It just has to have like a similar setup to this. And the hole is down here. That's where they fall in and die. And so you're baiting it, you run over here, they're following you, right? And once they're about to jump up onto this block with you, you place 2 blocks here. And then what that does is, you know, they can't jump up and they fall in. And one thing I would recommend you do is make this 3 blocks wide instead, because sometimes, you know, they can just like jump up here and then just, you know, fall down there, because sometimes they might be coming at it from an angle, you know, anything like that. But yeah, it's this trap. It works pretty well. It's not like the greatest trap of all time, but it definitely still works. And then the next trap we have is, I don't really know what this is called. The staircase trap? I don't know. You don't use staircases, but so it'll be like kind of a staircase sort of terrain, you know. It doesn't have to look like this unnatural. It can be like more natural looking terrain, but what it does is you're baiting, you go up here, you flick this lever once they're standing on this block, and then it opens that up and they fall in. Now this trap is basically just a bunch of pistons like that, and you know, they just all pull and retract. So yeah, that's that trap. Pretty simple, pretty fun to use. People still fall for it. It's pretty nice. And then the next trap is gonna be the ladder backup. So the ladder backup is basically you go down here and you step on that pressure plate and fall into the trap. Now how this trap works is basically there are slabs right here, which, you know, make it so that way they can't like go through here even if they walk forward, you know, see, and then they just fall in the trap. And these pistons, these push the stone blocks, you know, right here, and make it so the floor comes out, and the pressure plate activates the pistons. It does push these out, which can be a little annoying, so you gotta mind these every once in a while. And you always gotta make sure that like when you're underground, you gotta have like at least one open, you know, spot of blocks right here so the piston can push. Because if it is 12 blocks, I think it's 12 blocks, pretty sure, then it will not push. Oh, well, I didn't make it long enough, but hold on. There you go, that should be long enough. So you step on this and it does absolutely nothing because it can't push the stone out any further. So if you're underground, always make sure that you mine out a few blocks under 12 blocks away, so like that, and then it should work, and then they fall in the trap. Alright, and that's all the traps I have to show you guys today. I hope you guys enjoyed, and like and subscribe if you want to see a video where I basically explain how trapping works. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and see you guys in the next one. Peace.